So do you want to do God's existence? Do you want to
Yeah, sure.
negate
What
my
do you mean by
proposition?
God there? What are you casting out God to be?
Yeah, just give me a second. Let me just get my argument.
No, I can grant you need time to get your DM amps and your ChatGPT argument. That's fine.
Wait, you guys want me to announce it a bit?
Wait, Rizwan, why do you have a voice changer, bro? Also, can you judge?
You don't judge. It's coming up.
Just debating some retard on theology. Like apparently he lost a has-been.
Right, that's what Sheena's saying.
That never happened. I never lost a has-been, by the way.
Wait, you guys gonna? Yeah, you
I
guys
don't know
do
why you're
theism.
lying. Yeah, and by the
You guys
Yeah.
way,
do theism.
the
Are
judges.
you fine with Rizwan as the judge?
What?
Are you fine with Rizwan as the judge?
I want Oshi or Nani
Isaac,
as my judge.
Isaac,
Yeah,
are you
I don't
theist?
agree
Or are you
to Oshi or Nani.
are you theist? Or are you atheist?
I mean, I'm a theist, but I'm gonna take atheist for this debate.
I'm affirming that God exists. But yeah, I want Oshi as my judge. I'm fine with Nani.
Yo, I don't agree to Oshi. I just told you. Like, so
Okay,
you're not fine with Rizwan? Why? He
because
knows
I literally,
much more about the topic.
I don't know who this guy is. I just joined the server. The only person I know is Oshi, bro. Like literally, he's the one who invited me.
Are
But
you fine with Roy?
Wait, what did you say?
Seemingly, you're ducking every judge because you know you're gonna lose judgment.
brother, you can brother.
Wait,
you
no.
can
This
check.
is the strat. He wants
Wait,
to duck every judge,
can
and then he's
you,
gonna use a judge that he
brother?
knows
Just let
disagrees
me
me.
speak, bro.
Very
You
clever.
keep doing this shit. Listen, right? I just joined the server a couple days ago. The only person I know here is like Oshi and Nani, right? I don't know anyone else here. That's why I'm agnostic on who I want as my judge, because I don't know who's biased. I don't know who's what. I'm not accusing anyone of being biased. I just don't know like how competent these people are. So I'm not just gonna go out and throw a random
If they
judge
all
that you
beat you
say.
to death, that should
But
be enough, right?
It's not even needed. It's just a bit.
but okay, we can just like get the judge after the rec. I can just, if you want, I can just give you the argument, and then you can just respond.
I mean, I
It's not.
don't see why you're ducking all the judges here.
Brother, it's full. We
Like
can
I said,
just
if you don't want
we can
Rizwan, we can have Roy, we can have Hermes. We know you literally said that you would be willing to agree to Hermes before when you were arguing with Archie, and then now you're switching up. It's like weird.
no, that's not what I said. I said me
We can
and
have Kuro.
Archie.
Like,
Brother, can you just let me speak? Listen, me and Archie agreed to infinity, right? He convinced me that infinity isn't a biased judge. I hope he's not a biased judge, but
It's he is
yeah.
biased.
yeah, literally, he's applying the precautionary principles, bro.
But yeah, are you ready? I can just give my argument if you want.
Can you like accept a judge? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, we can have Hermes
So
judge. Like I
what
said,
you guys need it, but do you guys need a judge? Is it
yes,
necessary?
because I don't want this retard claiming that
No,
he's.
wait, hold on. Listen, we can get a judge to just watch the rec. I don't know why you're so fixated on getting a
We
judge
can
now.
get them to watch the rec. We can get a live judge as well. Like,
All right, man, sure. For the judge, I'm fine with, I guess, Rizhan, man. I agree to Rizhan as judge.
all right, sure.
All right, are you ready for the argument?
Wait, 1 second.
Yeah, what do you mean by God here?
Wait, do you guys wait,
All right.
stop. Do you guys need a moderator?
Yes. I
No,
want
we
talking
don't need a
stick.
moderator, and I don't
No,
agree
I
with.
want talk.
I don't
No,
agree
he
to
keeps
him.
cutting me off. I want talking stick. Mute him until I give my
No,
argument.
we're not gonna have talking stick. We don't need moderation
Yes.
either.
What the fuck,
We can just
nigga? I'm
debate.
not agreeing and going back and
We can
forth.
just debate, retard.
No, I'm not doing no back and forth. Just
We can
mute
just
this
debate.
guy until I give my argument.
Just have talking stick, bro.
Exactly.
Dude, I don't
Mute him.
want talking stick. No, I'm not doing that shit. Like,
Yeah,
stop.
just have talking stick. Like
Exactly, nigga.
He's
What?
literally
This
employing all
nigga's
these
ducking.
precautionary principles.
You're literally. Why are you running away, Isaac? Just have talking stick. Stop being a pussy. All
I'm
right?
not gonna have talking stick. We can just
Mute up.
debate.
Let me give the argument, and then you can rebuttal. Fucking pussy. Are you scared of tracking? Can you not track,
You're a
bitch?
fucking idiot. Listen. We don't need moderation. We can just debate. Just start it.
No, I don't agree
Well,
to going back and
I don't know
forth.
what
I
to tell
only
you.
want
Okay, well, if
talking
you want
stick.
moderation, I'm not debating you. Because
So you're ducking me in
Bro,
front of
what?
all these people.
Just have moderation. Why?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Let's
I
just
agree
have
with that.
moderation. Why are you so scared?
No,
What
I don't
the
need
fuck?
moderation for this reach. I don't care.
Isaac, it doesn't need to be talking stick. You can just have moderation. Like for example, if there's constant interruptions on one
Yeah,
side,
sure.
um,
That's fine. Then. I'm not
okay,
gonna do
like
talking stick.
I don't know why you can
Okay,
do
yeah,
that.
Okay, yeah. So are you
I'll
gonna
just
answer my
wait.
question now? What do you mean by
Yeah, I'm
God
gonna give the
exists?
argument. I'm gonna give the argument. The definition will be in the argument. So just relax yourself. All right. Just let me know when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah. So what type of argument is gonna be like deductive,
Okay. Yeah.
inductive,
So
deductive?
yeah. You're gonna get told that all in the argument. Just relax. So listen. Right. Should I wait for more people to join, or should we just start it?
You can just start. You can just
Okay,
Okay.
your
Yeah.
start.
definition of
Yeah.
God
So
is within your argument. Okay, that's
can
interesting.
I just told you I'm about to fucking tell you in the argument. Control yourself. Holy shit. This is why I agreed to talking stick. But listen. Right. I
I'm not
affirm that.
interrupting you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Typically, arguments don't.
Can you mute him? I'm about
Like
to give my
how would the
fucking
argument clarify
argument.
the
Yo,
definition?
Rizhan, please
Yo,
do something. I'm trying to give my argument and he keeps interrupting me
I
already. What the
I'm
fuck is
as
going
well
on?
mute, but chill on the interruptions. Bro.
So listen, yeah, like I was saying, right? I affirm that God exists, and my argument is not that every random thing needs a cause or that I cannot imagine how the universe works, therefore God exists. My argument is that the totality of contingent reality requires a sufficient metaphysical explanation, right? And the best explanation is a necessary personal, intelligent foundation of all reality, which is what I mean by God. So that's my definition of God. God, I mean a metaphysically necessary being, a being that cannot fail to exist and does not depend on anything outside of itself for its existence. This being is uncaused because it is not contingent. It is timeless because time is a part of the contingent order being explained, right? It is a spaceless because space is part of the contingent order being explained. It is immaterial because matter is contingent, composite, and located within space-time. It is enormously powerful because it grounds all finite, concrete reality. It is personal because it can will, know, and intentionally actualize a contingent world. It is intelligent because the world it grounds is rationally ordered and intelligible. It is morally perfect because objective moral value is best grounded in a necessary good, right? So the first distinction I need is
why
between
is that the best
contingent and
explanation?
necessary. Wait, stop.
Can you answer
Stop.
my
If
question?
Can
he
you
can,
stop?
he can't interrupt. You just can't constantly interrupt. And to be fair, you've been speaking for a while.
Yeah, I'm just asking him a question. Why is that the best explanation?
Brother,
Like
wait,
it
this
seems
is
like you're gonna be doing some type of IBE thing here. I'm just gonna ask you what's the argument for that, and then
okay. I'm about to give it to you. Just wait until I read the argument fully. So listen, right? The first distinction
can you send it
I
in
need.
chat?
Wait, stop talking. The first distinction I need is between contingent and a necessary existence, right? A contingent thing exists but could have failed to exist or could have been otherwise. A necessary thing exists by its own nature and cannot fail to exist in any possible world, right? So,
I didn't ask you to
wait,
clarify. I
wait,
know the difference. Okay.
stop talking. So,
Yo, this is literally
Hey,
irrelevant.
when we
So
he
say,
he can't interrupt.
just
He's
give
not
the
saying
argument for
anything.
the IBE. Like you said that it'd be the best explanation for the contingencies, and then I'm asking you why. You haven't really argued for that, right? Like,
wait, you
and then
said why is it the best argument for contingencies?
no, retard. I said, why is it the best explanation? That's the claim that you made, right? So you're making some type of like IBE claim. You're making like an inference to the best explanation. Then I'm asking you, okay, so what are you using to determine that it's the best explanation in order to make it more probable or more plausible? And you just haven't told me that, right? You're just rambling and monologuing about irrelevant shit. Okay, so clearly there's a difference between a contingent thing and like a non-contingent thing. That's not the thing that I'm contending here. You
Okay,
just
yeah.
don't understand what I'm saying at
So,
all. Very
okay.
confused.
So yeah, let me just respond. So It is the best explanation for contingency because contingent things, by definition, do not contain the reason for their own existence. So they could have failed to exist or been otherwise, so they cannot explain themselves. And the totality of contingent reality cannot be explained by another contingent thing because that thing would already be inside the totality being
Wait, why can't
explained,
it be
right?
a brute
So the
contingency?
explanation has to be outside contingency itself, meaning necessary rather than contingent. So God is the best
Wait,
explanation
you're shifting your
because
argument here.
God has the exact explanatory
Hold
futures
up.
needed. He is
Wait,
necessary.
no.
So
Now you're saying that
he
has
does
to be necessary rather than like a
stop. Let me finish. I
contingent
haven't
thing.
even, brother, I haven't even responded to your first point about why is it contingent. Can you just let me finish? Like, can we get the
That-
mod to
That's
mute
not
this
what I
nigga?
asked you. Wait. No,
That's
Rizwan,
literally what
Rizwan.
you asked me. Let me finish speaking. I'm in the middle
No,
of a
that's not what
sentence,
I
brother.
asked you. I asked you for the
You,
argument for the IBE. I
listen.
didn't.
I'll answer. Listen, I'll answer the other questions after I'm done responding to the contingent point, and then we can get on to the other questions you have. Right. So please just relax. Right. So like I was saying, God has the exact explanatory futures needed, right? Because he isn't necessary. So he does not need an outside cause. He is independent. So he can terminate the regress. He is powerful enough to ground finite reality. He is personal and intelligent, so he can freely actualize one contingent world rather than another without making creation necessary. So if you reject God here, you need to tell me what explains contingent reality better, because it is a brute fact that laws, abstract objects, chance, the universe itself, or finite regress, because all of those either fail to explain existence or just push the problem back. So now you can go ahead and ask the other
Yeah, wait.
questions
So how do
you
they
have.
fail? And then secondly, I think that all this could be explained by brute contingency. You said that there has to be a non-contingent thing here that's explaining these contingencies, but I'm not even too sure if that's going to be the thing that's explainable here, right? I think it could just be like a brute contingency. Um, and then seemingly you aren't really giving an argument for like the IBE. Like what you tried to do here is say that, well, okay, well, if it's not a contingent thing, it's going to have to be like a necessary thing. That seems to be more of like a disjunctive thing rather than like you trying to build like some sort of IBE, right? Like I'm confused on how that even would be like an IBE here because originally you said that'd be the best explanation, but then like your argument doesn't even really make sense here. I think I clarified everything that seemingly is a problem.
All right. So is the first thing you said, why is it contingent? I'm pretty sure, right?
No, do you want to move on?
No,
I
I'm
don't
just
think that,
clarifying.
I
I'm
don't
just
think you
clarifying.
tracked my argument.
Can you just clarify what you said in the beginning? The hell? I'm asking for the first part. I track everything else, but I'm just asking for the second part
I
of
repeated
what you
this
said.
multiple times.
No, you
Um,
said, nigga, I'm asking for the very first part about the contingency talk. What did you say? Clarify what you meant
yeah,
so I
for the
can actually give it.
contingency talk, what I'm saying here is it could be explained by a brute contingency. So you're
No,
saying
I'm
that
saying you
something
said
that is
something before that.
non-contingent.
You said
Wait.
something before that.
Let me finish it. It's gonna
I'm
have
not
to
referring
explain
to
the
that.
contingency.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm referring to what you said before that.
What I said before that, that's the first
Yeah.
thing I said. That's how I know you didn't track.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just give you the response. So, um, you said it can all be explained by a brute contingency,
Yeah, we
and
just
then
say the
yeah.
contingency
So
is brute. Like,
okay, yeah. So yeah. Okay. So just relax. Let me just respond. Right. So first, right. Brute contingency is not an explanation, right? It is the denial of an explanation. So, if your answer to why contingent reality exists is just that it exists for no reason, then you are not giving an alternative account. You're just rejecting explanatory demand entirely. So now you inherit the burden of justifying why I should accept brute contingency as metaphysically acceptable and what principled limit stops me from saying anything else. Because whenever
what do
it
you mean
is
by metaphysically
wait, stop,
acceptable?
stop. Brute, I already explained that in the beginning of the debate, by the way, you're just not tracking. So brute, right,
No, you
is
didn't.
whenever it is convenient. So why not say morality is brute? Conscious is brute, right? Logic is brute. The universe is brute. Every fact we have is brute. So if explanation becomes optional, then your worldview loses explanatory discipline. And secondly, you're confusing two parts of my argument, right? The contingency argument
Wait, no,
has
just
a
because
this
one thing
wait,
is brute doesn't mean that everything else is.
stop, brother. I'm responding to the first point. Stop shotgun, stop spamming. This is the exact reason I want to fucking mod, bro. Keep doing this annoying shit, nigga. Just relax before I fucking crash out. But listen, right? The
Ooh.
contingency argument has a disjunctive structure at first because existence is either contingent or necessary. So that part is not a problem, right? because that is just modal logic. So if the totality of contingent reality cannot be explained by another contingent thing, then the explanation must be non-contingent, meaning necessary. And after that, the IBE comes in when we ask what kind of necessary explanation has the most explanatory power, because a brute fact explains nothing. Laws explain behavior inside reality, but not why reality exists, right? Abstract objects are causally inert. Infinite regress leaves infinite dependence unexplained. So the universe itself would not need to be proven necessary. God has better explanatory scope because a necessary personal intelligent foundation explains why
Okay, wait,
contingent reality
right,
exists, why one
right. You've
possible
been speaking
world
for quite a
is
while.
actualized, why
You've
reality
been
is
speaking.
ordered, and why rational minds and
Yeah,
moral
man.
facts exist. You absolute fucking retard. So let me just give the conclusion for this point real quick. So my argument is not invalid because it uses a disjunction, right? A disjunction gets us to a necessary
That's not
foundation,
what I
and the
said, retard.
inference
Oh my
to
god.
the best explanation identifies which necessary foundation best explains the data. So your brute contingency does not beat my explanation because it almost has zero explanatory power. It just says that contingent reality exists with no sufficient reason. So my question is simple. Are you actually going to give an explanation, or are you just going to deny that contingent reality needs one at all?
I
Um,
mean, I can just
and yeah, and
deny
hold
that
on, hold on, one more
seemingly
thing,
every
one more
given
thing,
logical
one more
event.
question. Wait, one
Wait,
more
wait, wait.
question. Wait, hold on,
Let
hold
me
on.
stop. Let me
Stop,
stop.
stop. I'm not done. I'm not
Wait,
done. Stop.
no, you just stopped. You just
Stop,
stopped,
stop.
retard.
No,
No,
I'm
rest
not
on,
done.
rest on, rest
Stop,
on.
stop. I'm gonna give.
Wait,
I'm gonna give you a clarifying question.
wait. No, he
So
just
look,
stopped.
Mike. No,
Yo,
stop,
yo,
stop,
yo. I
stop.
let him talk for
You,
all
you,
that time.
wait, Tay, because, right, yeah, bruh.
Jesus
Tay,
Christ,
you
bro.
speaking for way too long. Like, just let him interrupt you. Like, for like,
Yeah, okay, so as I was saying here, like even if you want to say I'm just rejecting an explanation by saying it's brute contingency there, that's fine. You never really clarified what you meant by metaphysically acceptable. It seems like you tried to clarify it, and the point that you made was just like retarded. Okay, so you tried to apply my point globally, you gave some other analogies, where okay, well, let's say that logic or mathematics is gonna be something that's brute there. And then you're trying to say that like it goes against like um the global acceptance of my view. No, because just because I'm saying that this is going to be brutally explained, that doesn't mean that or sorry, not brutally explained, but um I think that it's going to have no explanation. It's going to be a brute contingency. That doesn't mean that I'm applying that to everything else. So you would have to get some sort of justification for why it's going to be something that I'm applying globally here. Clearly it's not something I'm applying globally here, right? And then seemingly like you just burden shifted as well.
All right. Um. Okay, so the guy just never actually addressed why I burner shifted, so I'm confused on that part. And who's literally talking? Can you guys just relax? But listen, all right. Um. So yeah. So what you're doing here is you're misunderstanding the objection. Right? I'm not saying you personally apply brute facts globally. I'm saying once you. All right, can we just relax? Right. What I'm saying here is that once you allow brute contingency as a legitimate stopping point, you need a principle that explains why brute stopping is allowed here. Because, but yeah, not allowed somewhere else, right? So if your principle is just I allow brute. All right, mods, can we like start?
including you. But let me just mute him as well. Where is he?
All right, can I continue? All right, thank you. So yeah, like I was saying, right? Um, you need a principle that explains why brute stopping is allowed here, but not allowed anywhere else. So if your principle is just, well, I allow brute facts only when we get to the universe, well, that's just an ad hoc because you're making an explanatory demand disappear exactly where my argument starts to threaten your position, right? And by metaphysically acceptable, I mean acceptable as a final future of reality without being arbitrary, incoherent, or explanatory, weaker, trivial. So if you say contingent reality just exists with no explanation, then you have to justify why that is a rational stopping point instead of an arbitrary refusal to explanation or to explain, my bad. And That's not burden shifting because I already gave my position account, which is a necessary foundation. You gave a rival response, which is a brute contingency. So now you have the burden to show that why brute contingency is better or at least equally good, right? And the point about logic, morality, was not that you literally claimed all those are brute. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the point is that you need a non-arbitrary criterion for when brute facts are allowed. Without that, your move has no principal limit because you're basically saying that this fact has no explanation, but not giving a rule for why this one is allowed to be a brute while others are not, right? And also, you also at the end admitted that it is not brutally explained but has no explanation. So it has no explanatory power. My argument is that an IBE, right, because we are comparing explanations, necessary foundation explains contingent reality and brute contingency explains nothing. So unless you defeat the PSR or give a better stopping point, then and necessity, in my view, has a stronger explanatory scope. Unless
Well,
you go,
no, that's not going to be the case because we're explaining the evidence equally, right? You just haven't given any evidence for why it would be the case that it wouldn't be a root contingency. So if you want to say that root contingency doesn't explain something that it doesn't have to explain, that's fine because when we're talking about explanatory power and the explanatory scope, it's going to be relevant towards explaining the relevant data. And then I just don't believe that that's going to be something that's encompassed under the relevant data. You might believe so, right? But I just don't find that to be important at all. You can like try to justify that after, but yeah, I mean, for all the other stuff, you said I would have to justify like why I could like employ it here, or why there'd be some sort of, I guess, at least equal reason to take a root contingency here. And then the reasoning that you gave is because there could be scenarios um in which a brute contingency like could just, I guess, be like applied globally here. You're not saying that I'm making that. It's just you believe that it's like some sort of global thing. No, because I believe that in other scenarios, like these analogies that you gave, there could be better explanations that go against a brute like a brute fact or something, right? Like there could be better explanations for that. That's the thing that I'm just unaware of here. I don't see why God existing is a better explanation than a brute fact here. I'm not going to apply it globally. I'm not saying it applies globally, and my position doesn't presuppose that either. That's not something that I'm presupposing here. That's the thing that like you're misunderstanding. I'm willing to grant that if that you can show or like give reasoning evidence as to why there's a better explanation, that I can grant that. Right? I'm just saying I don't see that evidence. And then you told me to justify why it'd be like why we should take it equally. Well, if we have no reason to take yours and you're on the affirmative, that's just like how an equal interpret would work here. Like literally, we have no reason to take your side over mine, and then it's more detrimental for you because you're the one who's affirming the position.
all right, man. Um,
But anyway, I think we can move on. Do you want to?
Do you guys want to
hold on,
conclude?
hold on,
Or
hold on,
you
hold
Yeah,
on.
can
I'm
keep
down to
going.
conclude.
Wait, let me
Yo,
see.
Snapchat
Let's
AI.
debate next.
The Snapchat
Oh,
AI
okay,
working
wait, wait,
overtime,
Rizwan,
bro.
do you have judgment? Because I'm willing to conclude.
Hey,
I
let's
do have
debate
judgment.
next,
Yo,
man.
it's
No,
Fuck
loading, bro.
atheism.
no.
It's
Wait,
generating.
stop.
Stop,
His argument's
stop,
loading. His argument's loading.
stop,
Chill.
stop talking. Stop talking. Uh, wait, to respond to what Isaachim said, I do have judgment, but does Tani want to add anything else? Because
Yeah. I just want to conclude right now, actually. So I'm gonna conclude here because your response literally collapses into brute fact skepticism. Because my argument, right, was not that the totality of contingent reality needs a sufficient metaphysical explanation. And I gave one, and I gave a necessary independent foundation. And his response was, is not an equal explanation because brute contingency by his own admission means there is no explanation. So this is not a tie between two explanations, right? It is explanation versus no explanation, basically, right? So he also tried to say, well, I haven't shown why it cannot be brute, but that misunderstands the burden. I gave positive reasons because contingent things do not explain themselves, because they could have failed to exist. The totality of contingent things cannot be explained by another contingent thing because that thing would already be inside the totality being explained, you absolute fucking retard. So the explanation has to be non-contingent, meaning necessary. That is the exact reason brute contingency is weaker. It leaves the central, it leaves the central area unexplained, right? And he also says, well, the relevant data does not include explaining why contingent reality exists, but that is literally the whole argument, brother. The evidence is that contingent reality exists and lacks the reason for existence in itself. And if you exclude that from the relevant data, then you're just basically saying or refusing to engage with the thesis there. And last point, right? Just give like an overall conclusion. That was like kind of a 50% conclusion, but just give an overall one. I gave a principled stopping point at necessity, and he gives an arbitrary stopping point at brute contingency. I explain why contingent reality exists, and he just says, well, like it exists with no explanation. And I explain why the explanation cannot be contingent laws and chance abstract objects or infinite regress. And he gives no positive ontology, by the way, that matches the scope of God. So my set has more explanatory power, more explanatory scope, and less arbitrariness. So therefore, God exists is the better affirmed position, in my opinion. But yeah, you can go and give your conclusion, man.
Okay, yeah, Rizwan, what do you think?
Isaac, do you need to give conclusions? Oh,
Nah.
yeah. So before I give verdicts, I'm just gonna explain why. So I just think the debate was like a massive burden shift. The reason why is because obviously the burden is on Ted to give like the argument for why it's going to be the case that theism is the better explanation than any other competing hypotheses like naturalism or broadly atheism, which I don't think was substantiated, and the burden was pushed upon Isaac to substantiate why naturalism or atheism does provide a better explanation, which again isn't uh, Isaac's burden, since you know all Isaacim is saying is that there may be some like alternative explanation, and what makes it such theism rules out these alternative explanations, and I don't think there was an explanation of that. And also, like, there was like loads of confused statements on his side. Like, for example, he said that a contingent thing cannot explain other contingent things, which is just like completely confused and false. Which is why I do think that Isaacim won. And I also think that Isaacim responded sufficiently to the points about why it's going to be the case that theism would be the best explanation. For the point about like root fact skepticism, that was also confused because Taylor never pointed out what's wrong with saying that things like logic and mathematics do lack an explanation, right? He never pointed out what's wrong with that. He just said it would be true of logic and mathematics uh, if it was the case that Isaac's position was true, and then he never explained why we'd assume that Isaac's position was like less virtuous, and so he
Wait,
would have never explained why it would be an absurd consequence for logic and mathematics to be unexplained. And so I do think that Isaac won like very low diff. Well, actually no diff, but I mean yeah.
okay.
Yo,
Anybody
Yeah,
else?
Tay,
Tay,
by the way,
look.
I've never debated theology. You fucking suck. Like,
No,
Jesus,
no,
bro.
Tay, you have to argue against Rizwan, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yo, Tay,
judgment,
let's
bro.
debate, man. Tay, let's debate, bro. Let's
Yo,
debate
why is he gonna
theology,
fucking
Tay.
skull fuck him? This nigga sucks. Wait, let's save the recording.
Tay, let's debate, bro.
Okay.
Tay, let's debate,
Wait,
bro.
Rizwan, can we get the judgment and results, please?
Bro.